If you've ever watched YouTube videos on watercolor painting, or maybe you found really cool inspirational pages on Instagram or Pinterest, you might be thinking the same thing as me when I see those. They're absolutely beautiful, but that's not really me. See, the difference is that when I'm using my journals, most of the time I'm filling them with to-dos and notes and things for work. I'm not filling up my journals with paintings and art necessarily. Every now and again, of course, I'm adding a little bit of creative fun to the functional, right? Making my page a little bit less boring, but I never really feel confident in creating artwork inside of my journal. So when I first came across these watercolor sheets from Peerless Watercolor, I was a little bit skeptical. I thought, is this a stationary product that I need to have or should have, as not really being a watercolor artist? But at the same time, I love how portable these are and how easy they are to use inside of my journal. So I think there is potential. I think the biggest thing for me is I realized that the watercolor for me wasn't necessarily an art supply. Instead, I was utilizing it as a journal supply, and that was a big game changer. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 11 ways that you can use watercolor inside of your journal in both a fun and functional way, whether that's creating colorful headers, using things for project trackers, or adding fun elements into things that you're already putting inside of your journal for productivity or memory keeping. So like I mentioned, all of the Peerless Watercolor are going to come as sheets. They're not going to be in tubes or in pans or anything like this, which make them super mobile and great for storage. Let me just tell you that everything stores flat. It's awesome. Now, if you're interested in anything that we go over today, any of these palettes or small books, you can head over to peerlesscolorlabs.com and use my discount code, which will be markyourpages20, and get 20% off of your orders today. So let's go ahead and kick off with the very first idea. This is a super easy way to add a little bit of color and some watercolor into your journal or your planner, which is using it as a header. So as you're getting started with your day, as you're getting started with your weekly, whatever that might look like, we'll go ahead and take our paintbrush here. We'll just run it across the colored card here, get a little bit on top of the brush, and we're just going to draw a long rectangle. And this is all we're going to do. And then next to that, we'll just write the day of the week. Super easy to do, great way to get some color on the page and, use things a bit differently than markers or something like that. Another way, using them as a part of your headers, you could write the day of the week and then draw a circle, for instance. Really nice and easy. All of us can do that, or an oblong shape, whatever it might be. And then with a waterproof pen, we can go ahead and put the date over top of it. It's a nice visual way to show the date, and like I just said before, a really great and easy way to get some watercolor into your page and something a little bit different. And what I really do love about using these cards is that when I'm done with it, I can just set it off to the side. I don't have to take anything extra out, no mixing palettes or any of that. And this is also something that can just stay on your desktop or stay in your bag if you wanted to as you're going throughout the week, and easily pull out your water brush, grab a little color, and get it onto your page. The next way that we can use watercolor inside of our journal is actually using it as a part of a tracker. I'm going to set up a real quick daily tracker or schedule. I love doing this for myself as a great way to time block out parts of the day. You could also do this retroactively after you have a meeting or do something creative as a way to track your time as you go through. Now that we have this set up, I can use my watercolor and create a colored key to identify different ways that I'm spending my time during the day. So in my first example here, I'm going to grab Butterfly Wing Blue, put a little bit of that color on here, and anything that I do throughout my day that is work related, I'm going to go ahead and color in that colored block of that time frame. This could be for a full hour, multiple hours, 30 minutes, however I want to break it up. Next, I'm going to pull out something that is going to be around personal time. This could be, in this case, lunch with my friend Steve. This could be, grabbing a haircut or anything that's not related to work or any type of other creativity or any type of thing that you add into your key. One of the things I'm really focused on for myself personally is setting up more creative time in my day and throughout my week. So that's going to be another color that we're going to create inside of our key for our tracking, any type of creative activity that I'm going to do. So in this case, I set up extra time for myself to set up a new journal, and that's going to be the dedicated time that I'm going to spend doing that. The next way we can add a little bit of extra watercolor into our journal is to use it along with making your own stamps. If you've watched any of my videos recently, I am all about utilizing stamps in a stamp journal, and a lot of the times I'm using other type of creative papers. In this case, you can cut out or punch out a stamp shape from some watercolor or any type of paper really that'll work with it, and then design it however you want. Add a little color, make an organic shape, and then you can go and pop it into your journal and start using it right away. It's a great way to kick off your week, create those headers, and so instead of painting it yourself, you're adding a little bit of extra creativity. But let's say you already have a photo or maybe a stamp that you've already punched out and you want to add a little bit of extra fun, a personal touch to your page. We'll go ahead and grab our paintbrush and one of our colors here, and I'm just going to add some quick little squiggle lines around that. Brings a little color onto the page, creates a little bit of excitement, and super easy to do. You don't need any type of extra artist skills to do this, just an idea and some squiggly lines. Our next idea of including watercolor inside of your journal or planner is using it as a layering element. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and just draw out this quick grid pattern, just using some color that I have here. It's nothing crazy. It's horizontal and vertical lines. I'm not looking for perfection. And in fact, I'm actually looking for more organic shapes. Once this dries, I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of washi and I'm going to stick it right over top of this. And what's great about this washi is that it's slightly transparent, so I can see a little bit underneath of that. But of course, you can find one that's a little bit more opaque. You could find one that's completely clear of no pattern and just color and right over top of it. There's a lot of different ways that you can incorporate this and use this. And even for myself, I'm learning new ways to incorporate it myself and having a lot of fun with the experimentation. Keeping in that same creative journaling space, but while keeping it still minimalistic, is we're going to use watercolor in our corners to create a little bit of color and visual interest on the page. Again, a super low art entry level here. I'm just talking squiggly lines and dots. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some of this color here with my water brush, and I'm just going to squiggle out from that top corner. This is a really, really easy way to add some of the patterns and colors and things you might want to add, especially if this is just going to be a pure journaling page. You can add these in any of the corners, across the middle, split out your pages, do whatever you want to do. It's about that exploration and trying and seeing what works. Now, something I love to do is actually utilize the dot grid pattern that's already on the page to create new patterns. In this case, I'm going to take this color here and I'm going to go ahead and follow along with these dots to create a little corner triangle. Now I can go in with my pen and I can add something like the day of the week. Not everything has to be straight or vertical. I love a little diagonal, a little bit of fun and color. It's just a really fun way that you can add different pieces into that week to try a different viewpoint. Maybe you don't like it at all. You never have to do it again. And no one's going to know because you don't have to tell anybody. It's about your personal exploration and finding out what works well, how you want to divide out your page, and be productive while also being really creative and having a good time. One of my other favorite ways to use watercolor and color all together inside of my journal is actually using them along with stamps. In this case, OG-san's here. He's hanging out, relaxing. He's got his pups at his feet. I also have this really cool skateboarding cat. He's playing like a little flute or something like that. Just fun little ads that you can put on your page. You could even use them as headers if you want to section out pages. But I'm going to take a little bit of this daffodil yellow over here that's on this other palette, and I'm just going to give OG-san a nice colored jacket. This is almost like a coloring book. That's kind of what I feel like when I'm using it. Now, one of the important parts when using stamps and something like watercolor, for instance, in your journal is just make sure you give that stamp a little bit of time to dry before you start to use it. You might get a little bit of color bleed, so it's just something to pay attention to. And even on the opposite side of your paper, just be wary as well, because we're adding ink onto paper and it allows a little bit more of that water or moisture to get through. But it's totally okay. It's about creativity. It's about expression. It's about having a good time. And sometimes you don't even have to do a whole lot of coloring. Like I can just take this little pink color here, color in this little cat shirt on this skateboard, and that's all. It dries and it looks really cool and a nice little pop of color and having a little bit of fun in your journal with elements that you already had. As much fun as I like having with the creative side of journaling, I also love being productive, and I love using things like trackers and paying attention to things, but doing it in a visual way. So I'm going to take a look right here at a new project that I have going on, and I'm going to break this up into quarters, right? 0, 25, 50, 75%, and 100%, which means done. This is something very easy that you can do as a part of a collection page. You can do this on a weekly if you're only dealing with one project at a time, or something I like every now and again is create like a big project overview, leave some space for notes to give updates on where things are in milestones. But this is just a really fun way that you can get a little bit of color into your page or utilize watercolor in your page. As your project is going on and you're hitting certain milestones, go ahead and paint in how much of your project is complete. Now, the cool thing with this is if you have this a part of a collection page for a project overview, for instance, you're going to come back to this page often, especially with your notes and things that are going on, but also to go ahead and update your project status as well. For me, I actually like the fact that the colors aren't all matchy-matchy, especially when you're using different saturations. And the other thing too is that when you're using the Peerless Watercolor sheets, sometimes you're grabbing a little bit more color than you might need. And that's something that you do have to pay attention to. Maybe you just want like a quick little bop bop dot and pick up a little bit of color, and it's a little bit lighter on the page. But I love the way that a tracker looks when it's fully filled out, and in most cases actually visually showing the progress as well as I've gone through and coloring each section. Let's continue on putting the fun in functional. So if you're the type of person that likes small breakouts, you like a special space for your daily tasks or your weekly task, or maybe just a top 3 overview, this is another nice and easy way to add a little bit of color into your page with some watercolor. I'm going to go ahead and draw out these shapes, and inside of here I'm going to put task and top 3s and things like that. But first I'm going to grab a little bit of sky blue, and I'm just going to add a slight little drop shadow on the outside of this shape here. This is such an easy way to add some dimension to the page because it does look like it's kind of lifting off the page a little bit, and a really fun way to add a little bit of color as well. You can do this in different colors and shades. You can make it darker or lighter, filling in the full top all the way around the box, just the small sections. Think about where the light is coming from and where the shadow would be, and that's another fun and exciting way to create a little bit of more dimension in your page. Next up is one of my favorite things to do inside of notebooks, and that's creating swatch journals. Resource pages are really important, especially with something like paint and in this case watercolor, because when we're dealing with these Peerless sheets, as we've seen, the color on there is very dark and it might not necessarily be the color that it looks like on the page. So creating a swatch page or a resource page for yourself is a great way to utilize a notebook that you might have already partially used. Maybe it's a whole swatch book itself. It's totally up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create just a real quick example with 4 different colors that we have here. I want to take a look at what brilliant yellow, deep yellow, orange yellow, and ripe peach look like from this palette here. Just going to take a little bit of water, put it on top of my card, and then swipe that across here and color in that space. So as you can see, each of these colors do look a bit different, right? That bright yellow looks much brighter on my page than it does on the palette itself, just because of the concentration of that watercolor that's on there. Also, seeing the difference between a deep yellow and also seeing the difference between something like deep yellow and orange yellow, especially for me as someone who's color deficient, honestly, those colors look exactly the same to me. So I'm like, okay, deep yellow and orange are kind of the same. But if I have a palette, I can see maybe some more differences as it dries. I can go ahead and make those decisions on what I use. Same thing with ripe peach. I thought that was going to be more in this like pink space. Turns out ripe peach to me looks very much like orange yellow and deep yellow. So swatch pages are super important. Speaking of swatch pages, one of my favorite things from Peerless right now is this portable palette. This thing is so neat. It has a little pocket down here, which also doubles as a space to mix up some colors. We have a white sheet, and that's actually how you use this. You pop that inside of this plastic folder here, because if you want to mix colors on top of it, you don't want to see what's underneath of it. You also have your own little swatch piece here as well, because you can add pieces of the Peerless cards to this. So if you want to travel with this, or maybe you are a really cool like urban sketcher or painter, this is fantastic. Now, because it's important to me to know the colors, I'm going to go ahead and cut from the bottom of these cards. And that's the other thing too about here. You don't have to always carry around this giant stack. You could cut small pieces of this, glue it or paste it in somewhere else that you need to get into it often, and continue to reuse it. Now, on this mobile palette here, it does have 2 spaces for the stickers. I'm the type of person that likes options, so for me, I'm only going to put just one side of this and stick it into the page. It's enough. That way, if I decide to come back later and change out my colors, I can do that. Really nice and easy to do. Now, the other thing I'm going to do in this case is I'm actually going to take this palette, which was a CMYK palette, and using that, you can create all types of mixes using that. So if you're familiar with like inks or color printing and things like that, CMYK is cyan, yellow, magenta, and then K is usually key, or in this case, black, or they call it neutral tint. But utilizing these 4 colors, I can create any color that I want to as a part of that. So I can go ahead and take a little bit of the blue that's going to be here, the C. I'm going to mix that with some of the Y, which is going to be the yellow, and that's going to give me green. So I don't have to worry about grabbing another color green and adding it into my palette that's here. I can actually keep it really, really basic and create whatever colors I need using the mixable palette space down here in the bottom of this thing. That's why I love it so much. And this is a great example too, where the water brush is a fantastic companion to have along with you, because if you really are on the go or mobile and you don't want to have to bring like a jar of mixing water or clean water, everything can be handled for you right inside of this pen with this palette. You can go ahead and just mix those different colors together, see what you're getting, and have a really good time. I've been playing around with this a lot because trying to figure out different color gradients and things that are a bit deeper or a bit darker and mixing and matching, it's just a lot of fun. You know, I've never been great, like I said, as being color deficient with like color theory, but playing with this more is just getting me more comfortable, and I love having fun with this. This, again, no major artistry happening here. You don't have to know anything about color theory necessarily. You can just find out what happens when you mix magenta and yellow, or when you mix, you know, blue with the K or the dark black in different tints to see what levels of blue you get. It's just a whole lot of fun. I hope that you found these 11 different tips helpful for you to create some inspiration on how you could use watercolors inside of your planners and journals in a productive way, a little bit of a creative way, and honestly just having fun with it. As I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in getting a discount off of any of the Peerless products that we saw today, I'll link everything down for you into the descriptions below for you to check out. But as always, friends, I got to hear from you. What are some interesting ways that you've found to use different materials inside of your journal, whether that be watercolor, maybe pastels, or other technical art supplies that you've converted into journal supplies? I'll talk to you next time, friends. See ya.